Welcome to Swedish House Money. We are going to talk about sports gambling, sports, teams, and sports. I am not a professional gambler. I am only a professional sports fan. Yes. These are my takes. I do not expect anyone to take these as truth or a guarantee to win any money. This week's budget is $2,350. Just because I like to make fun of myself, especially when I make predictions or when I'm gambling and I just completely fail miserably, or I have this take of, oh, well, I think this and this, and I think these teams is a trap, and blah, blah, blah. Let's take a look at some of my gambles from last week. I'm going to choose the Dolphins on this one. I'm picking the money line that they just straight up win the game. I still feel confident on this one. Maybe I'll just have to eat those words next week. I'm also putting $100 on the under. It is currently at 40. I don't see either of these teams really going off too much. Maybe they will. Prove me wrong. But it's the Giants at the Raiders. It feels like a trap. I'm just thinking that the Giants are somehow slightly better than the Raiders, and they'll win the game. That was kind of a shit show. It is week 10 of the NFL season this week. We are beyond the point of halfway through the season. So now at least for me, we're starting to get an idea of which teams look like they are most likely playoff bound and which teams that just try and do your best for the rest of the season. Some teams maybe you just want to tank and get that draft pick. Other teams, they might not have that in them, and they will try as hard as they can until the season is officially over and they play their last game. We're going to have a little section here where I have a few teams that I feel are lock-ins for the playoffs as of right now. Of course, that can change. But I will just throw out a few picks here today, and we'll see what that looks like when the end of the season happens and the playoffs start. Let's take a look at the bets we'll be placing this week in the NFL. The first bet I'm placing this week is the Lions at the Chargers. I almost said in San Diego because I'm still kind of used to that, but they are in LA. They share the stadium with the Rams, so Chargers. Easier to not make a mistake. At least for me. I looked at the lines on this one, and I just decided that I'm going to place two bets on this one. I'll just jump right into it right now. The first bet I'm placing is the spread on the Lions. Favored by 3. I think they can at least win by 3 or more in this game. And I'm also going to place a bet on the over. It is currently at 48.5 points. It is Friday, November 10th for me right now recording this. Unless those lines change, they might. They usually do a half point, a point sometimes. But what I have right now captured is these numbers. I believe in the Lions right now. It took me a few weeks to get there, but I am a believer now. I've said this before. I love Dan Campbell. Great coach. I think he is doing very good with that team. So sign me up. $100 on each bet for a total of $200. Lions win, and they cover that over. The next bet we're placing is the Falcons at the Cardinals. Kyler Murray is back. Yo, okay. I feel like it's been forever since we saw him last play, but here he is, supposedly. Maybe he won't, or there's some reason that he doesn't play. But at least what I read today, he will be in this game starting. Looking at the lines on this one, I'm also going to be placing two bets on this game. I'm going to be placing my money on the Cardinals money line. Just straight up, they win the game. I don't know by how many points. My assumption is it could be close. It could be a field goal, maybe even a touchdown. I'm not taking that risk. I just think the Cardinals will win. Kyler Murray's back. He hasn't played in a while. You could look at that at, well, he might make mistakes and he may not be ready to go or in rhythm. I think that dude is ready. And he has waited a long time to show up and be like, yo, I earned this money. I earned this starting spot. Thank you for getting rid of Dobbs for me. Boom. So I'm putting that money on there. $100 on the money line for the Cardinals. I'm also going to put money on the under. It is currently at 43.5 points. I don't see these teams being high scorers. I've said that before and it's completely backfired and I was way off target. But it's the Falcons, the Cardinals. The Falcons offense, to me, they don't use their running backs the way they should. It drives me nuts, especially as a Bijan Robinson fan. Come on, man. Just anyways, for a total of $200 on this game, I'm putting my money on the Cardinals winning and the under. Next game I'm putting money on is the Houston Texans going to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Man, Bengals looking real good with Burrow back. It's nice to see them just kind of be who I thought they would be. Even though Burrow was hurt at the beginning of the season, I thought we'd get a little bit more from them, but it's nice now, at least for me. I like to see the Bengals be good. They have the greatest helmet in the league, man. Come on. Anyways, looking at the lines on this one, I'm choosing just that the Texans surprise win. They go to Cincinnati and beat the Bengals. I just sat here and talked all these good things about the Bengals, but as of today, I read that Higgins, their receiver, he's out. He's not going to be in the game. He didn't practice during the week. Same for Jamar Chase. He did not practice this week. He's also a little injured or hurt, but he is supposed to play in the game. But if he's really hurt and he's not practicing, I expect him to be limited in the game and what he plays and can do. So for those reasons, I'm putting my money on the Texans for the upset. It might backfire on me, but $100 that the Texans win. The next game I'm putting money on this week is the Browns at the Ravens. Two AFC North teams. Yeah. Earlier this season, the Ravens just destroyed the Browns. No chance. Just bam. Since then, the Browns have had some wild games. Their defense is still really fucking good. Damn. I like it. The offense on the Browns, for me, is still just, man, I don't know. You haven't had Chubb all season. Watson has been in and out. But somehow, they've got these wins, and it mainly is probably their defense. But they are in the hunt still. They are looking good. So, rematch. Browns at Ravens on this one. I can't pick a winner. I can't pick a spread on this. Ravens are favored to win, so I am just choosing the under. It's currently at 38.5. I do think that the Browns defense at this point can slow down the Ravens offense and keep them under that 38.5 threshold. $100 says we hit the under. Next up is the 49ers at the Jaguars in Jacksonville. All right. Supposedly it might rain in this game, so we'll see how that affects both of these teams. Usually in a rain game, you want to run the ball more and kind of control the line of scrimmage and the ground game more than just passing it around with a wet ball. People might be slipping around. Yeah, they might be slipping around running in that, but just historically, it seems like you would run the ball more. Looking at the lines for this one, though, I'm going to place two bets on this. I'm going for the home team wins. I'm choosing the Jaguars money line. $100 on that one. Also, I'm looking at the over. It's at 45.5. Okay, I'll take it. $100 on that one. So a total of $200 on this bet here. The 49ers secondary has not been looking that good. They've got their defensive coordinator moving down from the box or the booth down directly to the sidelines. I have heard and been reading that that's just to hopefully improve communication. They wear headsets though, so okay. Anyways, that's what I've been hearing about that. Maybe that will have a massive impact on this 49ers defense. Supposedly Deebo Samuel will be in the game and he'll be back. Can Brock Purdy just shake off whatever's been happening lately and be the Brock Purdy we have seen last year and the beginning of the year? We'll find out. But the Jaguars are hot right now. Damn. So I'm putting my money on the Jaguars. Prove me wrong, 49ers. $200 on this bet. The Monday Night Football game is the Broncos going to Buffalo and playing the Bills. Man, the Bills, they're hard for me to really put money on and have a lot of faith in this year. They have been up and down. I know that they've got injuries and that really, really hurts them, but this is just not what I expected from them, and this is not as good as I think they can be that we are seeing right now this year. I don't think that the Broncos can beat them, though. The Broncos, you could argue they might be going uphill a little bit, improving. Great. I'm fine with that. I don't hate the Broncos, but I don't think they're good enough to beat the Bills. Looking at the lines on this one, I'm actually going with the spread. It's favored the Bills by 7 points. All right. You got me. Hook, line, and sinker. I'll take it. I bite on it. I'll put money on it. $100 on that. The second bet I'm placing on this one is the over. It's at 46.5. If the Bills' defense is not as good as I think it is, and the Broncos are slowly getting better and better as a team and their chemistry, their play calling, I can see both sides putting up at least 20 to 28 points apiece. So the over with it being at 46.5, okay, $100 on that over. A total of $200 on this bet. Next up, Packers at the Steelers. Man. Packers, we are so bad this year. Just bad. I've talked about it before. At this point, I'm blaming the play calling. I'm blaming the coaches. I'm blaming Jordan Love. I'm blaming all of them. All of it. Something has to change, and there is too much, in my opinion, to change. So I can't just say, yeah, this one thing and we're fine. Or, just do this and it's all gravy, baby. No. Way too many issues going on for my Packers. So I can't bet against them. And maybe there is a miracle in store here for us. And, sure. I'm putting $100 on the money line that somehow, some way, the Packers can get their shit together, go to Pittsburgh, and win. They don't have to win by 2 touchdowns. They don't have to win by 1. They can win by 3. They can win by 2. Just beat the Steelers, okay? If this was the Steelers from years back and the Packers were like this now, there's no way. Maybe the Steelers just don't show up, and the Packers do. And I know. $100 say the Packers win. Go Pack, go. The last bet I'm placing in the NFL this week is a parlay. Just got one this week in the NFL. Overall, actually. Looking at this one, I'll put that on the screen. Boop. We've got Derrick Henry, scores a touchdown anytime. Mike Evans, scores a touchdown anytime. Actually, hold on. Stop. Redo this whole thing. Do not do this. We need to start over from the beginning and say that it is the Titans and the Bucks that are playing. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The last bet I'm placing in the NFL this week is a parlay on the Titans and Bucks game. I didn't want to choose a spread, a money line, an over-under on that one. I decided to just go with the parlay that I see here. I'll put that on the screen here. Take a look. It's got Derrick Henry, touchdown, anytime. Mike Evans, touchdown, anytime. DeAndre Hopkins, Rashad White, same thing. Doesn't matter when, just all they need to do is score at least one touchdown each. I haven't hit any parlays this year yet. I don't think I have. Maybe one. This one, I'm just going with it. It looked good to me at the time. Maybe I'll regret it. I'm only putting $50 on this parlay bet. We'll see if it pays off. This week for the NCAA for football, these are the bets we're going to be placing. Let's just run through them real quick. I've got Michigan at Penn State. I've got Miami at Florida State. Texas at TCU. Utah at Washington. Ole Miss at Georgia. USC at Oregon. Let's talk about Michigan at Penn State first. This one, I think a lot of people want to see what happens here. From my perspective and from what I've been reading and listening to, I hear a lot want Penn State to win this game. Upset Michigan, beat them. Whatever your opinion is of Michigan, whatever that may be, I don't know enough of the facts. I only know what pretty much the majority of us know. I'm not really making a decision on this. I will say, a personal opinion though, sign stealing is just a thing that happens in sports. All sports. If you have any way to lip read or look over the sidelines, for in this example, like, oh, so that's what they're doing over there. Okay, cool. Every time they do that, it's a run play, so they're probably running it. So baseball has had things with sign stealing and play and things like that. To me, that's fine. To me, if you know someone is stealing your signs or your calls and they can kind of read you what you're doing, you should probably change it up. Also, we know of quarterbacks in the NFL, for example, Peyton Manning, that go out on the field and they just, oh, okay, I see what your defense is doing. Word, yo, guys, they're doing this, so we're audible and we're doing this. That's all I'm going to say about this. The Big Ten, the NCAA can do whatever they want to do, and whatever we don't know about Michigan, let it come out, and maybe I'll have a different perspective or opinion on the matter. Looking at the lines on this game, though, Michigan are favored to win. I'm putting my money on Penn State for an upset because I want chaos in these top 4 of the college football rankings. I want all of these undefeated teams to lose. I do. I've been wanting that for a few weeks. If Penn State can actually do it to Michigan, fuck yeah. At their home stadium, it will be nuts. Like, yes. Has nothing to do with Michigan and what's going on. Perhaps all of this noise is affecting the Michigan players and it will be like an obstacle for them and they might kind of be in their heads a little bit more than they should be. Maybe they're not. They could be stone cold ready to go and this does not faze them. But we'll see. I'm putting $100 that Penn State pulls off the upset. Next game we're putting money on in college this weekend is Miami at Florida State. Straight up, I'll tell you right now, there's the lines for you. I'm putting my money on Miami. They're you. I'm just putting it on the money line. So I hope Miami wins. Again, I have nothing against Florida State. I'm not really a big fan of Miami. I'm neutral both ways, but I want some chaos with these undefeated teams. Come on, Miami. Beat Florida State. You could do it. $100 says Miami wins. Next game we're putting money on is Utah at Washington. I lived in Utah. I think I've brought this up before. I lived 5-10 minutes walking distance away from the University of Utah. I really liked living in that spot, just the area and that time in my life. Would I go back there? Would I recommend people to live there right now? Hell no. But that's me. That's all I have to say about that. So, I just want chaos. I want Washington to lose the game, please. Come on, Utah Utes. They got destroyed by Oregon and Utah. So fire back, Utah. Don't let that happen to you again. You're on the road this time. Please beat Washington. Give me that chaos. $100 on the money line. Utah wins. Next games in college we got money on is Ole Miss at Georgia. I'll try and tone it down from the last time here. I just want some chaos. I want Georgia to lose. I don't want them to be undefeated anymore. I'm putting $100 on the money line that Ole Miss wins. Come on, Lane Kiffin. Come on, guys. Go into Georgia and beat them. Next up is USC at Oregon. I just want Oregon to lose. That's all it is. Just a little bit more chaos for what's going on in the rankings and how things look. Obviously, if all of these top teams lose and Oregon can get a second loss, that would help Texas, from my perception. But Texas needs to win out, and they need to dominate their games. So, USC, bounce back after that loss from last week. Yeah, you got rid of your defensive coordinator. Apparently that was a great move that should have happened years ago. Okay, I really am not educated enough on USC to determine whether that's true or not. I'll buy it. Okay, cool. USC, bounce back and beat Oregon. $100 on the USC money line says they win. The last game we're putting money on this week is, of course, the Texas Longhorns. I do not have a singing voice. I'm really sorry you had to hear that. Texas at TCU. All right, cool. Personally, I'll take the week off. I'll sit at home and watch the Longhorns play this time. Looking at the lines on this one, I'm taking the spread. It's got Texas currently at 12.5. All right. Ewers is back. I think our offense will be just a little bit better, or maybe a lot. Either way, Ewers is back, baby. Yes. All right, we're going to go into TCU. We can get that 12.5 points. I'm also putting $100 on the over. It's at 54.5. Yeah. Fuck it. Why not? Let's do it, baby. $100 on each of these bets for a total of $200 on this bet. Let's go, Longhorns. Hockey on Saturday. It's going to be an Original Six rivalry, and it's against the team that I really just fuck these guys. I think I've put this in video before, but I really, really hate these guys. I don't even like saying their name, but I have to. It's on Saturday, tomorrow. It's the Bruins going into Montreal to play the Habs. We look a lot better than the Habs this year so far. I don't want to sound too confident or too just about it. So, looking at the lines on this one, the Bruins spread is at 1.5. I'm taking it. And I'm putting $200 on the fact that the Bruins will go into Montreal and beat the Habs by at least 1.5 goals. So that means 2 goals. Yeah. Let's go, Bruins. Fuck the Habs. This week for the Premier League, we're putting money on 2 different matches. I just want to say to any of of the Liverpool fans out there, like, what the fuck happened yesterday? How did we lose that? Anyways, that's in the past. I'll just try and move on from all that shit. In good news, I'm really happy Luis Diaz's father has been returned. As far as I know, his family is safe now, and that's fantastic. That must have been extremely difficult for him to have to play with all that shit going on. So I'm really happy for you, man. And thank you for continuing to play. That I don't know if I could have done that myself. Looking at the matches we have this week, we're first going to start with Tottenham at Wolves. I'm just straight up putting $100 that Tottenham wins. I think they'll bounce back and have a great game, and they will get that win. Also, putting my money on Tottenham because I've got a friend out there. Basho, this is for you, buddy. I will never bet against them unless they're playing against Liverpool. Next match we're putting money on is Brentford at Liverpool. Come on down to Anfield, baby. Let's go. Liverpool, we need a bounce back win here, okay? We can't play like we did yesterday. No. We can't have any of that crap. I'm putting my money on Liverpool winning. They are favored to win. It's one of those bets where I put money on it and there's really not that much of a payout. But I can't bet against Liverpool. There's no way. I'm not doing it. That's not how I roll. $200 says Liverpool wins. We are going to talk about what I said earlier about teams that I think are pretty much playoff bound at this point in the season, or maybe we have a few surprise wildcard teams. I don't have these teams ranked in any particular order for seeding. I just have some teams listed out here, and here they are. So in the AFC, as of right now, going to the playoffs, I have the Chiefs, the Jaguars, the Bengals, the Browns, the Ravens, 3 teams in AFC North. Yeah, I think those 3 will make it. The 2 that I'm just like, I don't know, is the Bills and the Dolphins. Somebody has to win that division. I guess I would just say the Bills will win that division right now because the Dolphins, we all know this. They have yet to beat a team that is 500 or above. They just cannot do it. So I'll risk my money on the Bills. But another surprise team for me in the AFC that might sneak in as a potential wild card, or maybe I don't think they'll win their division. Most likely a wild card, is the Houston Texans. We'll see. As for the NFC, the teams that I have going there right now would be the Eagles, the Lions, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, and just because someone has to win that division, I'm choosing the Saints. A team that could be a surprise wild card team? Of course. Of course, I will not give up hope on the Packers until I know for sure they are toast. Maybe they are right now, and I'm just not aware of that. The Packers are not good, but it's a surprise wild card team. Maybe. One can dream. That's all we have for this week. Those are all of our bets we're placing. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a great time. Where I'm at right now, it's been very rainy. The temperature has dropped to be cooler than what it normally is. I can wear sweatpants in my house right now. I don't have to have the AC running at night when I sleep. I can open a window. It's nice. Personally, I'm going to be a lazy butt and probably be inside for the majority of the weekend and enjoy the rain, enjoy the cold weather, and enjoy all the sports that we got this weekend. There's no F1. There's some UFC. Monday night game, we got Eli and Peyton, baby. I love that broadcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.